What is going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a fantastic day as always. We are back again today making more videos. We got the 4Runner today. It's already lifted in the front, but when he bought it, it needed the lift stuff installed in the rear. So we've got some Skyjacker shocks to put in, some lift pucks, and should be pretty straightforward. We've already got it jacked up. Don't you guys wish it was that high? That'd be sick. But anyways, we're gonna start ripping this thing apart, take the wheels off, probably drop the axle. Not really sure if we're gonna drop the whole thing at once or just one side at a time, but I'll go through it as we go. Should be pretty straightforward. If we run into anything weird, I'll let you guys know. But we're working on the 4Runner today. Something a little different for you guys. Let's get to it. Alright guys, here's the tools you're gonna need, or some of the things that we use. Basic stuff. Couple 6-ton jack stands to lift it by the body. Jack, obviously. We got our jaws here for the spring compressors. We got some big channel locks, a hammer if you need it for driving something off or on, a couple ratchets. Important stuff is the 17 mil socket for your lower shock bolts, 14 mil for your upper shock nuts, a pry bar if you need it, and a 12 mil wrench or whatever you want to get for the upper, or yeah, for the sway bar end links. That's pretty much all you're gonna need. Pretty simple job. Be super careful with the spring compressors and you should be good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we've got the lower mount off of the shocks. It's just a 17 millimeter bolt or nut that goes into that little hole right there on both sides. Then we just took a pry bar, pried this shock off. It's going to take a little bit of effort if you got quite a few miles on it, because these bushings get kind of heated up and like gummed on there. We also got these sway bar end links off. It's just a 12 millimeter nut up here. Should be pretty simple. Just take it off from up here and just drop it on both sides. Now what we're working on is this top mount of the shock, and it doesn't go all the way through into the cab. It's actually, let me see if I can get you guys in here. It's this panel, you got to get in between the body and the panel here and get a nut in there. So I will let you guys know what size nut that is for the top mount of the shock, and we will get that out on both sides. We'll pull these shocks out, and then from there we should be able to compress the springs and replace everything that we need to. So I'll get back with you guys in just a second. Quick update for you guys. We got the shocks off. You can't really tell because I put it back on the bottom. Let me see if I can hammer it off. Yeah, so it's off. As you guys can see, up here we sheared this off because it was just so rusted and old. These are probably the original Toyota shocks that came on the car. But what I would recommend is leaving the bottom bushing on this stud, so that when you try and turn the top nut, it doesn't just turn the whole body. What we had to do is I had my dad hold on the body here with a pair of vice grips, or channel locks, big channel locks, and we actually just sheared this one off, but the other one came off pretty smooth. But shocks are off. Like I said, you have to go in up here through this, through the body this way into this shock mount, or whatever you call it, down here. So it's pretty stupid, but just need a 14 millimeter on the top nut and you guys should be able to get it off pretty easy. Like I said, leave that bottom bushing on the bottom mount. Should make it easier for you guys. But we got the new shocks here, getting ready to install them. Then we'll do the, actually we should probably compress the springs first. So we're going to compress these springs, put the spacers or pucks on it, and then we'll install the shocks. So we'll see you guys in a second. Cool guys, well we got the new puck in. I should have kind of showed what we were doing, but basically I just took the spring compressors, compressed the spring, pulled it out. What you got to do is put the puck between the top of the coil and your bump stop. So you got to pull your bump stop out, put the puck on, put your bump stop back in. But we've got it back in. Let's decompress this and get on to the next side. There it is. On to the next side. Wow. So we're on the next side. I'll try and show you guys a little bit better on this side what we're doing. We've got these cool spring compressors. It's a lot different than the normal style. The normal style is just 2 clamps that you put on your coils, and then you zip a single rod down, but you've got one on each side. In my opinion, that's a lot more dangerous. Has a lot more room for them to slip back and forth and, you know, pop your spring free. These guys, more like jaws. They move independently, so you can you have a lot of wiggle room in your installation. So as you can see, they compress in and out, side to side, and also up and down. So it's really all a matter of getting as many coils of the spring into those jaws as you can, so you can press it as much as you want. These, in my opinion, are a lot better than the other style. If you can find these, I highly recommend getting these over the other ones. We're safe. And then you just got a 24mm nut on the bottom. You zip it down and it just sucks it all right in. So I'm gonna get these installed on the proper coils, and then we'll take my impact and just zip it down. Cool, so this side actually worked a lot better. We had a lot more room to get the jaws in there and everything. As you guys can see, we have plenty of compression in these springs. I'm gonna pull it off real quick completely, install that puck, and then we'll just shove it right back in. I'm not even gonna take the jaws off or anything, just to make it easier for reinstallation. Now, if you guys are putting in different coils instead of just pucks, you'll have to take your jaws off and compress the new coils out of the car. With them off, it's a lot easier, so that's what I would recommend. These jaws make it super helpful, super easy, super safe. So if you can get them, that's what I would recommend. Let's move on. Alright guys, the driver's side is in. As I said when we started, we got the Skyjacker shocks. It comes with little metal sleeves, as you can see, this guy right here, that you can press into your eyelet, the bottom mount for your shock, if you have a different style, like a bolt with a nut on the end. But we had the sleeve that you screw a bolt into, so we didn't need this sleeve. So if you guys buy the Skyjacker shocks and you have a 97, you guys shouldn't need that sleeve either. We'll go over here. What we did, we put all the hardware on and everything, extended the shock as far as we could by pulling the top part out. Then we pushed the top part into the body mount, and then just pushed this up, compressed it more until we could slide it over the mount down here. Don't forget your washers. Make sure to tighten this down nice and tight. Don't know the torque spec on it, but it's a 17mm. Just as long as you don't over tighten it, you should be fine. The top one doesn't have to be stupid tight. You don't want to split your bushings. My dad reminded me about that because it felt like it just kept tightening and not getting tight. But you got to remember that your rubber bushings are compressing. So once you get them compressed enough, you should be good to stop tightening it. So we're gonna assemble the other side, put it together the same way. We got the pucks on, and we're gonna lower it down, maybe go for a little test drive, and we'll let you guys know how it sits. See you in a second.
That was fantastic. What a difference.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
So much different. I'll put a picture up before, and as you guys can see the after. And that's just like 1.5 inch puck, so that's badass. So much of a difference. Well guys, I got so excited for my dad and everything that he could have a better ride in his truck and that it doesn't look all squatted and everything. Anyways, I got so excited that I forgot to film an outro. So here we are in the truck running errands. I really appreciate you guys watching. If this helped you guys in any ways, definitely let me know. If you guys want to see anything else on the 4Runner, let me know before he sells it. We'll try and do some cool stuff to it. More stuff to come for the Jeep, more stuff to come for the Subi, so stay tuned. Like I said, I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video. Leave a comment, please. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next video.